Yeah, it seems like, of all the different genres and music that that you've exposed yourself to, it really was that experimental bass sound, that combination of that and reggae that kind of really gave you this passion for what you do. So let me ask you, what do you think makes reggae so compatible, or so compatible a sound with kind of that bass manipulation?
I think it's a form of music where the rhythm section, the drum and bass are paramount.
Mhm.
They're the real stars of the show. And if they're not good, you notice right away. They're really the heart and soul of the music. It's what everything else is built on. And I don't know enough about the science of it to know why it's so fundamentally moving. And maybe it isn't to everybody. Certainly, have this. I have encountered people who don't really like bass. I don't know what that is. It's an entirely foreign. We might as well be from different planets. But I've had people that as soon as the bass is audible to them, they'll rush over to tell you that it's too loud. And um, they don't like it. They don't like feeling it. And to me, being able to feel it, that's everything. And that's probably why I've fallen in love so deeply with this music, above and beyond everything else. Is what I respond to. And to me, I think dub and reggae were so compelling because, especially with dub initially, it seemed to do these two conflicting things at the same time, and they're really not conflicting. That it would be interesting in a um, kind of intellectual sense with his experimentation or whatever, and you would be sort of exploring the sounds. Uh, but then it would really be moving on an emotional, soulful level. With the right combination of vocals and all the different parts, it did both at the same time. It wasn't just intellectually interesting the way some experimental can be, and it wasn't just soulful and moving the way more maybe other forms of music are. It put both in front of you at the same time, so it kind of fed your heart and soul at the same time. And that was really, like getting the whole package. Uh, when it was done
Yeah.
right was really really attractive and still is. So that's kind of why I could just dig down and still not feel like, well, gosh, I kind of like maybe really need to just go listen to some, and I mean, I can listen to something else and enjoy it. It's not that, but listening to music is part of my work. So in that way, it changes it than just putting something on and doing whatever. I'm still not tired of it. So
Yeah, I just love the way that you phrase that it feeds your heart and soul, because the thing I think, I mean, for the people that like it, right? Like you just said, not everybody likes it,
not everyone
but
does. Yeah.
I feel that for those that like it, the drum and bass just touches something tribal, something primal, right, within them. And when you kind of like reach back into that ancestry, to who we were as a people, it kind of feeds that kind of ancestral gap a lot of people in the West have, right? Because we don't have that kind of, sustaining tribal community, especially in America. We don't have that kind of sustaining tribal community passed down. But I feel like when you combine that with reggae music, something that's so spiritually and politically uplifting, like it kind of, I don't know, it just like kind of resonates, and it feeds that heart and soul with kind of a sense of purpose or meaning with
Right.
one's life.
It certainly has that, and that's part of its tradition too, because it's sufferers music. It's music made by people who were slaves,
Yeah.
and are looking, still for liberation and justice. That's built in as well for the most part. I mean, there's obviously the slack part of it, just like there is with a lot of kinds of music, but the heart of it with roots and reggae is about uh, moving towards a more just place and telling your story of what it's like to live in an oppressed society. So, I mean, that's all attractive as well to me. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's been studies made, and maybe I should read them and educate myself about what it is about the drum that's so compelling to us still as human beings. But it's, it could be that it replicates heartbeat. I mean, it is
Mhm.
the old, is it not the oldest instrument or one of the oldest? So I mean, there's something beyond words for us, which is the same thing with music. It's attractive because it's beyond words. I used to be a writer. That's what I studied, and as a journalist, that's what I was interested in. And I moved away from it and into music because I think it communicated something that words can't communicate. So it was really attractive to me in that way, that I could sort of do something with it that I couldn't do with words. At
Mhm.
least I couldn't. So um, I think there's a lot there that people maybe can't even explain to themselves, but it's it's certainly true that it's important to us, and it moves us and it feeds us, and there have been studies about how it's a massive antidepressant. Like there are people who, when they're depressed and they listen to music, nothing makes them feel better than that. So there's all sorts of things in there that we probably haven't even completely explore. Like, I think music therapy is a big part of what's going on now with that. And I did attend um, a an event by Subpack. And Subpack is, just to be very quick about it, is sort of like a tool, something that you wear, so that when you're producing music, let's say if you can't have the music be really loud, you feel the bass in your body. And it's, a lot of people have found it helpful in terms of being able to produce the kind of music they want and have it the kind of have the resonance they want on a base level. But part of what they were doing, and I'm sure other people maybe are exploring it as well, other companies, is the idea of the bass moving through your body and how it can be a positive healing thing. Now, again, some people were not really probably happy with that at all, just like they don't appreciate bass moving through the air towards them even. But I remember sitting in this chair and listening to this music while I could feel the bass moving through my body, actually, like, because you're connected to it. So it's not just coming through to you through your ears. And it really makes a difference. After 10 minutes, you feel really different than you did before. So there's definitely a lot there that we haven't really quite discovered yet. So